All right, here we go. We're live. It's Thursday. Thursday in the mid-August. Are we in August? I think we're in August. School started. I see the school buses out there. I see kids with backpacks. Makes me excited. It means football's right around the corner. Anyway, I hope yesterday was awesome. Hope it was great. Hope tomorrow's twice as good as yesterday. And I hope today is really smoking good. And we're going to talk about how to make today good. And here's what I want to start out with. One of my newbies, he's doing great. Doing great. Put 2 under contract this week. Okay? One on Monday and one on Wednesday yesterday. Crushing, right? That's awesome. Been in the business 5 months. It'll be his, I think, 4th and 5th deal. Doing pretty good, right? So we do our lead gens in the morning, right? 9 to 12. 40 minutes on, 20-minute review and break. 40 minutes on, 20-minute review, break. 40 minutes on, 20-minute review, break. That's our schedule, okay, for lead gen every day, Monday through Friday. So it starts out 8:40, 8:30. We get together, go over the talking points of the day, answer questions, making sure we're organized and prepared, getting our head space right. Okay, ritual every morning, and then we go into lead gen. And then at 8:40, I go in there and stand up next to the whiteboard and call out, "All right, Joe, what did you do? 5 contacts, 2 emails, 1 lead, whatever the results are." Okay, good. And we go through the list of everybody. We track results for the first round. And so I go in there, Jim, what'd you do? Yeah, I was working on one of my deals. Okay, so what'd you do? Yeah, I got 0. I had to deal with my deal. Okay, fair enough, whatever. And then we go through next round. Jim, how'd you do? Yeah, I had to get a signature. So how'd you do? Yeah, it's 0. Okay. Third round. Jim, how'd you do? Yeah, I didn't get any going. I'm still working on this. I'm like, okay, pause. Right? So sit down. We have a little conversation because so many realtors run a career path that is a roller coaster, right? Mm-hmm. They do 2 deals a week and they get busy getting signatures, following up, running around, doing whatever, and they stop doing their lead gen. And then the pipeline dries up. And then they got nothing going. And they start working their butts off to get things going again. And it's hard. Stop, start. It's hard. Okay. It creates a very uneven year and career, and it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
What was the guy that would push the boulder up the hill for it to roll back down?
Sisyphus. Right? You're always doing that. You give yourself no benefit of your good stuff. So the way you get around it is a schedule, a very solid schedule that allows you to maintain your schedule, right? To stay on track, and do that. Follow your schedule or go out of business is what I say. I remember my coach used to just hound on me. I'd say, yeah, I got 6 under contract this week. Did you get any new listings? Yeah, I didn't because we were doing all these contracts. Oh, good. So you're having to go out of business sale. Oh, all right, nice. And I was just like, oh, shit. That's what's happening. You're having a going out of business sale, right? So you got to build a strong schedule. You just got to, or else you're going to have these ups and downs. And eventually the downs are going to outnumber the ups and you're going to go out of business. That's the way it is, right? So build your schedule around lead gen first, right? You got lead gen, you got contracts, you got appointments, you got previewing, you got studying, you got all that stuff. But if you had to do anything, do the lead gen. Because what that lead gen is going to do, you can get 2 under contract. Yay. One's going to fall out. Maybe both. Maybe they both close. But you can have all kinds of issues. But if you're doing your lead gen, the pressure on those deals dissipates with every new listing or every new pending. If you have 1 pending, there's a lot of pressure. If you have 1 listing, there's a ton of pressure, right? If you have none, that's a lot of pressure. But if you have 5 listings or 10 listings, your 10th and 8th and 7th listings that are pains in the ass, You can cut them if you need to, because you don't need them, right? You can spend your time on the good stuff. If you have 5 pendings and 1 falls out, all right, that's I hate to see it, but I got others. And the only way you're going to keep those pendings and those listings going is through lead gen. All right. So if you're not in control of your schedule, if you're letting your schedule control you, because the other agent, I got to have that paperwork now. Really, we're under contract. It's tied up. Everything's going. If I got it to you at 3:00 this afternoon, would anything change? Yeah, because I'm going to go out of town. You got to do it now. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You look for it around 3, right? Or 2 or whatever the case is. Because right now, I can't do it, right? Because lead gen is an appointment. If you're on a listing appointment and you got a text that said, you got to send this signature to me right now, you wouldn't take that. You'd wait until after your appointment. So treat your lead gen like the sacred stuff that it is, or you're going out of business. You're simply going out of business. And it's discipline, it's commitment, it's all that stuff that goes with it. And believe me, we celebrated him putting 2 under contract. So great. I mean, that's why you work, for God's sake. But you got to be careful that you start giving yourself too much room and you start working your deal, not deal, and you end up out of business. It's just, I see it. I've seen it. It happens. Great agents, bad agents, average agents fall into that trap. Fortunately, I've been fairly consistent on what I'm doing, but I've had great coaching. I've been lucky, right? And now that you're hearing this, you know what's going on too. Pat yourself on the back, hug, do whatever you got to do, and then stay to your schedule. That's it. And you're gonna get some pushback. That I had one gal say this morning. I heard an agent got fired because they wouldn't meet in the morning because they were doing their lead gen. And they got fired by the client. Yeah, you got to be a little bit careful, right? One-offs, you can deal with it, okay? But if you start jumping through those
That's not the issue, though. They failed to demonstrate enough value that the
person would wait, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Be very careful, guys. You can say, okay, well, just this one time, I'm going to let it slide. Make sure it is just that one slide, or pretty soon you're going out of business. I've seen it. Okay. So yeah, my message is do great, be great, all that stuff. Stick to your schedule. All right, you're on a diet. Got it. I'm not eating sweets, ice cream, pizza, whatever. But your kid has a birthday, so we want pizza, cake, and ice cream. That day, go for it. The next day, you're back on your disciplined diet. You can do it that way. Just don't have 365 kids, right? You just be careful. Don't be the birthday guy. Hey, another birthday, I'm going, right? Be careful, right? So build your schedule around lead gen, because lead gen is the gas that fuels your engine, right? Simple way it is, right? Mark, you were out in Austin. Tell us about it.
Well, first off, would you believe me if I told you I hopped in my car and the little yellow light was on the gas and it says 25 miles to go. And I said, but I'm so busy. I got all kinds of signatures I've got to get. I don't have time to get by the gas station. And my car gave me an extra 1,000 miles without having to fill it up.
I don't believe you.
Of course you wouldn't believe that. If you don't put the gas in your tank consistently, if you don't feed yourself consistently, you're not going to get the results. And I think that part of maturity is recognizing I must do these things. Everything else is negotiable. Those are non-negotiables. And it really boils down to, just got back from Mega Agent Camp, and where with Keller Williams, they bring in the biggest, the brightest, the most successful. And they've gotten a good handle on not just showing people with big numbers, but good P&Ls. But it boiled down to this. The people on the stage, they had dialed in their lead generation and they were relentless and consistent, and let everything else fill around that. And they knew what they were doing. They did it, and they protected it just fiercely. And that's really the recipe.
I guarantee you, there are things you protect fiercely. It might be lunch, it might be breakfast or dinner. You protect it, right? Might be watching the Bears on Sunday, whatever. I can't do it. I'm watching the Bears. Make your lead gen. Julie, tell us a story. You've done this.
Well, I have actually posted in front of my computer.
I don't want to hear about pictures of me anyway. What? I can't read it.
Consistent,
What does it say?
consistent persistence.
Okay.
And that's basically protecting your calendar, and your calendar is setting up your lead gen first. People will give you all kinds of reasons for excuses, and you'll hear when you're learning in real estate, you'll hear all kinds of successful people say, you know, do what works for you, or, you know, find the thing that you like, or, you know, there's a million ways to make it, find the one that works for you. The thing is what they may not say and needs to be said is basically what John is saying right now is you need
what?
And you have to do that.
Say that again, Julie, you're locked up.
I said you have to build it. You have to build your calendar around your lead gen, and you must do that first. You must. I've had agents, you know, we have a meeting and they'll say, oh, I have to do an inspection. It's the only time. Oh, I have to do the walkthrough. Oh, I have to. No, do your lead gen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But here's the thing. Let's be honest. Nobody likes doing lead gen. Right?
That's why you have to protect it.
Right. I probably like it more than most. And even then, I'm looking around. Well, I wonder what else I can do. Oh, maybe I'll clean my room.
I need to file my nails.
Yeah.
So
But
Allison Felix was there, and I got to hear her speak. 11 Olympic medals. Went to the Olympics 5 times. That's competing and medaling over 20 years.
That's amazing.
And she was asked, do you like getting up and doing the workout? And she said, no. She said, there's just days that I don't like doing that, but I got to put in the time.
You got to do it. Mm-hmm. The successful people will tell you that's what it is. Now, you get the one-hit wonders, no doubt. No doubt. They're going to show up, but they just don't last. Destiny, what's your perspective on all this?
My perspective is you've got to set the standard for yourself in the beginning. I've started implementing that even in my buyers and listing consultations. You know, during this time, I'm not available. You know, I will get to you from this time to this time. I've added it to my voice message. You know, when people call me, they know this is when I'll return your call. And so I think that that's important, is to set the standard for yourself with the people that you're dealing with, so that they know this is not an emergency right now. I'll put that fire out after this time, because this time of my day is designated.
How do you do it? Is it just discipline?
Discipline, but knowing that if I don't lead gen, I'm not getting more business. So that's where my money comes from.
I mean, you lock the doors, you turn off the phones. How do you do it? Do you just bury yourself somewhere so nobody knows where to, or how do you do it?
I've had to start going into the office a lot more. So I lock myself away in the office so that I'm not being distracted by noise and kids and dogs and dads that want to show up and cut the grass while I'm making calls. So going into the office helps me a lot, but also letting my kids know, hey, I'm not available right now unless you're bleeding. It's not an emergency. So.
How do you do it, Julie?
Well, I would agree with Destiny. One of the things that's hard, especially when, you know, I was a single mom with 3 kids when I first got into real estate, and it's really hard to not stop what you're doing for your kids. So if you're in that stage, whatever your life stage is, if you close your door and you have a sign on the door that says, do not bother me or whatever, you know, I'm in lead gen, and they ignore it, you have to go somewhere else. You have to protect that time. You have to set it up so that you can be efficient. So if you recognize that you keep getting interrupted, whether it's the doorbell or your kids or your family members or the dogs barking, and that is having dogs barking while you're on the phone. I don't care. People always act like that's no big deal. We all love pets. I love pets. I've had them since I was a kid. They're still a distraction. Kids are and screaming. It's a distraction, and people see you as unprofessional. So you have to protect your time. And I used to think I could close my door and it would be respected, and it is now, because it's just my husband and I. My kids are all grown and gone. But if you have, and even for me, it's easy for me to get distracted and say, oh, I'm going to go throw in a load of laundry. I'm going to go take the meat out of the freezer because I forgot to do this. If you're at the office, you can't.
Nope.
So Go
This
to the
is gold, people. If you're watching this, hearing this is big because most realtors work from home. Let's be honest, right?
and so find a place where you're not going to be distracted. And that doesn't mean Starbucks or Panera or, someplace. It has to be a quiet place. Focus on your business and stay on your schedule. Protect your schedule. I know that there's sometimes emergencies where you have to move it, but then you move that time frame to another part in the schedule and you honor it. You honor it like a listing appointment. You don't ignore your listing appointments. You honor your lead gen time like you honor an appointment with someone. You're on time, you show up, you do it till you're done, even if you have to set a little timer, and you do it until you're done.
You could do this. You can get accountability partners. You can get lead gen partners that you're in a group. You can do it by yourself. You can get a coach that's going to hold you accountable. You can do any number of things. But if you're going to do it on your own, very difficult. I think any of those Olympians, all those Olympians, maybe not the breakdancers, I don't know, maybe them too,
with the exception
have
of
some sort of a coach, right? And probably several coaches.
a real coach, a coach who actually says that was crappy.
Yeah.
A coach that actually calls you out and says, you're making excuses. Not one that says, oh, I understand that, no, you don't want one of those. One
That's a parent.
If you have a coach that you BS and they don't call you out, fire them.
Yeah. So you got to get some sort of support. It's helpful. If you don't have that, you find it. You can find it here. You can find it online. You can hire it. You can figure that out too. But build a schedule around lead gen, in the morning. Say, I'm not a morning person. Well, that's cool. The rest of the world is. And what was Gary saying, Mark, about the morning?
You got to win the morning to win the day. And the morning begins the evening before. I think that there's another component.
Hold on. What was the rest of it? Like, what if you don't win the morning? What, are you going to win it in the afternoon or something? Or
yeah, he says, what's the alternative? Lose the morning, win the day, make it up in the afternoon. I'll get to it tomorrow. It doesn't work that way.
And you start making more excuses. Oh, it's kind of like being on a diet. Oh, I ate brownies. The day is ruined. I'll start over tomorrow.
Tomorrow I'm running 6 miles.
You've lost.
Yeah. I think there's a mindset that we have to address, and it could be another show, but there's two things. One is I'm not interrupting people. More people sabotage that by feeling like they're an intrusion. And guess what? You're intruding into their world, but it's not like it's a bad thing. The second thing, and I see this in particular with ladies and moms, and that's you've got to do battle with the guilt trip. You've got to do battle with, especially now that you have flexibility in your schedule. That's a danger. Your kids feel like they own you and they can have you access. If you were going to a 9-to-5 elsewhere, they couldn't just pop into your work any minute. But I saw this when I was a therapist. I see this in real estate as a coach, is I feel guilty if I'm not doing everything for them and dropping for them. And those little suckers, they want everything from you, but they'll derail your success because they don't have the maturity. And you've got to be the mature one to say, I am working right now.
Well, on top of that, anyone who has kids knows that you must discipline your kids. You're hurting them. If you're the parent that does the homework for them, how are they going to learn?
Right.
If you're the one that never says no, they're going to run into the street and get hit by a truck. And same with your lead gen. I'm lead genning so that I can put them through college. That's, you have to think of the long term, and this is the best for them and for us.
Well, and I sat my kids down early on. We had a meeting and I said, hey, what is it that you want? What is your goal? Jackson, he wanted to go on an airplane ride this summer. My daughter wants a car. And so if I don't work and I don't make these calls, you don't get those goals. And so that I made my work important to them.
That's good. Get buy-in from them, have them set a goal. And then you can put their goal up in front of you on your computer. And that helps motivate you when you have someone else's goals. Sometimes someone else's goals can motivate, especially in moms, more than your own goals.
Here's something to think about too. If you feel like you're intruding on people, if you're bothering them, because I know that's a big thing. It's a huge thing. I don't want to be a salesperson bothering someone. I've always found when you're excited about something, you don't really care about bothering anybody about anything. It's like you're going to tell them because you're fired up and you want them to know about it because you believe in it so much, right? The way you do that in our world is you talk to a lot of people and you understand what it is they want, need, and expect or hope for, right? And then you go out and you're previewing these properties. You're learning what's going on in the marketplace. You're watching new properties come on the market, go off the market. You're studying the trends and the forecasts and all that so you can talk to people about it. And you're going to come across something that clicks in you that, holy cow, this is a thing. This is really cool. Because I remember talking to so-and-so, and this is exactly what they want, or this is exactly what I want a good deal. Well, shit, I just found a good deal. I'm going to call everybody and tell them about this good deal. Now you got this, oh my God, if I don't tell them, shame on me attitude. You're not bothering anybody. It's like,
John,
oh,
there was a lady at Mega Camp, and she asks everybody that she speaks to, she says, I know there's a house in your area that you've always said, if that came on the market, I'd buy it. What is that house?
Yeah. If there was a good deal, I would buy it. Great. Tell me what a good deal is. And now you're looking. And you just gotta have some way to characterize or chase them down. Like type in what is the people looking for good deals. Ping, there's a list. And you go. But here's a bus driver with all the buyers. All right, so there you go. We're at our morning here. Win the day. So win the day is built around your schedule. Build your schedule around lead gen and stick to that schedule at all costs. And that'll stop your roller coaster. That'll create an incline where you're going up over time all the time. All right. And that's a good place to be. That's how you're going to do it. Anybody have anything here to take us out?
Excellent stuff. Win it.
A lot of good stuff on here, people. A lot of good stuff.
One thing I would add is when you think you're bothering people, you're not, because you're delivering to them what they have a desire. You are helping them get what they want. And
Okay,
if you
I'm going to add
do
on
it,
this.
someone else do it.
You are bothering someone if you're not bringing any value. If you're just calling up cold, not have any plan or anything, that sucks. Don't be that person. Go preview, go study, go back and study your notes, see who wants something so you can provide news as opposed to not. Right? If you're just calling up, you want to sell something? That's bothering people. Right? But that's most people, right? Follow the scripts. Let's go to work. See y'all tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.